Well, I am Love Carpenter, your upline executive, and I am super excited to be here with you tonight. We have a couple of our leaders on the call. Leaders, you guys wave. I see Jennifer, and I see Rhonda, and I see Laura, and Sandra, and I know Tammy's on here, and Amanda. Who am I missing? Everybody keeps moving around. All right. Oh, yes. All right. So I think Annette's on here. She's not in the picture, though. All right. So we are super excited to partner with you and help you take your virtual parties to the next level. So I happen to see some faces on here that I know are brand new and have just run 1 or 2 weeks of virtual parties. And then I see some faces on here that have been doing an awesome job of running virtual parties for a while now and are really ready to step up their game. So if you are not in a quiet place, though, we want you to mute your live. You can mute on your phone, or if you run your mouse around, you'll see the mute button in your bottom left-hand screen to be able to mute yourself. If you're on the phone, if you touch it, it should let the controls come up so that you can mute yourself. So what are we going to be doing on this call series, and what does it look like? This is a 4-week call series. So you will join us here every Thursday night, same bat time, same bat channel, 9 o'clock Eastern every Thursday night. We will use the same link for the whole 4 phone calls. So this is going to be 2 phone calls in May and 2 phone calls in June. So the last 2 weeks of May, first 2 weeks of June. And this is going to set you up to have the income that you want and the business that you want for summer. So I want you to start out by thinking about what is it that you want from your business this summer, okay? There are new consultants on our team who are earning on average. And remember, if you're not in a quiet place, mute yourself so that it doesn't. I'm getting some feedback. Let me see if I can figure out where we're getting feedback. All right, so if you're not in a quiet place, be sure to mute yourself. And I'm trying to figure out who might not be muted for this. All right, so say again, if you're not in a quiet place, be sure to mute yourself, because I'm having a hard time muting. Okay. Still see, I still hear feedback. There we go. That might have gotten it. I think I figured it out. Okay. So, what was I saying? Okay, so all 4 weeks, every Thursday night, 9 o'clock Eastern, the same link. This virtual party group, the Level Up virtual party group that you're in, you want to mark that as your favorites, put it in your shortcuts. You want to go turn on notifications, because everything we run through this program, that is going to be your go-to spot for these next 4 weeks, okay? All the information given on the call tonight will be shared in that group. Throughout the week, you will be getting information that you'll want, so everything that you need will be right there. I know when you join, you get put in a couple team groups, and sometimes you get added to another group and another group. That is going to be your go-to group. Not that you don't want to be in your team group and stuff like that, but the information is pertinent each week to what we're doing, so you want to make sure that you're getting that. So what these calls are going to look like is we are going to cover on these phone calls bookings. Who would like to discuss bookings on these calls? Yeah, all right. Okay, I thought we all might be with me on that. We are going to dive into host coaching and talk about, you know, improving your host coaching and really partnering with your host to have successful parties. We're going to talk about a schedule to help get you on a schedule for the week so that this is doable and this you can do this with ease and kind of know each day what it is that you're going to be doing. We're also going to work on helping you set up your community and doing an online community and how that is going to help your business. So, and tonight we are going to start with one of the most fun things, attendance in your parties, because none of this other stuff works if we don't have good attendance in the parties. So we're going to kind of talk about every aspect of your virtual parties and how you can up the game. Because if you can up the attendance, you can up your bookings, you can up your leads, you can up your sales. Like, so we're going to kind of venture into every aspect. If you're new and you've just started running virtual parties the last couple of weeks, you figured out the logistics of the party, but this whole series is going to focus on the behind the scenes part of the party and the things we're doing behind the scenes that make the party work, if that makes sense. That's where we're really picking up with, okay? So, first of all, before the party, okay? How many of you, by a show of hands, let me ask the question first. How many of you have a good system to contact your upcoming parties so that the first time they hear from you is not Friday with, oh, I have set your party up and is ready for you to invite. Okay? So how many of y'all have a system? Okay,
I'll put it back on before we leave.
Yourself, because we are getting a lot of feedback. So how many of you have a good system? You can show me now with your hands. Do you feel like you have a good system? All right, Mary, very good. I know Mary's been rocking out some $2,000 parties, so Mary's going to help with some of our training. Hey, Mary. And Annette, all right. Who else's name did I see? I see who else's name. All right, Terry, yes. All right, see, I'm seeing these hot shots on here. All right, so it is important to be in touch with your host before the start of the party. And we had this great system that we rolled out, and we were teaching everybody kind of all this host coaching to do during the week. But it kind of picked up from where the party started, and I realized we kind of missed something about how we were supposed to be in touch with our host prior to the party. Okay, so we're going to give you a system for that. So one thing that we want you to do is I want to share a letter that you can send with your host packs. How many of y'all send host packs? Who sends host packs? Does anybody send host packs? Okay, so I don't want you to send a host pack to everybody. I want you to ask them if they want catalogs, okay? So what I usually do is once a week, I'll send out to everybody upcoming for 4 or 5 weeks on my calendar. And I will say, hey, Susanna, I'm mailing out catalogs today. I just wanted to touch base and see if you would like me to drop you some in the mail. Do you have some friends that you could circulate the books to and collect outside orders? Would this help your party? I want them to tell me that they want me to mail them books, okay? Because if I'm mailing them books and they don't see people and they have no intentions of passing the catalogs, I'm wasting my money, okay? And I have some hosts that come back and say, no, all my friends live out of town, which is great, you know, but I want to know that so I'm not mailing them books. They'll say, oh, no, my friends live out of town. I'm going to do everything through the online part. And that's great. But then I'll have some people say, I think I muted you, Melissa. I'm sorry, I'm trying to mute everybody while I'm talking. So then I'll have some people say that I'm sure I'll take a book to work, or I'll take a book to church, or I've got some friends that want to see a book that aren't on Facebook. So those people, I definitely want to get a book in their hands. You also want to get into a system, and if you just started doing parties, you did parties last week and this week, you're not in the system yet, but we want you to get into a system that you are mailing your books out several weeks before the party, okay? So you could, by mid-May, have your June books mailed out, or by the end of May, have your June books mailed out. By mid-June, have your July books mailed out. And I know that that might seem kind of far out right now, but when we get done with this program, you are going to be booking that far out, so this will work, okay? So what happens if you can get those catalogs in your host hands early before the party's ever set up? You want them to have those books in their hands about a week and a half before the party is ever set up. They get them in their hands, they get excited, they're excited about the products, and so then I give them a little challenge to collect 5 orders before their party ever starts, okay? Now think about this. Think about the host that has taken that book to work, passed it around, showed it around, and I give her her online ordering link because she can text that out to people. I mean, she's got friends that are, she or he have friends that are on Facebook that are not on Facebook, they can still do online ordering. So she has that available too to be able to send out. So I get that to them ahead of time and then challenge them to do 5 orders before the party starts. So what that does, some of them aren't going to do 5, some of them get 2 or 3, but 2 is better than 0, right? So ask for 5, some of them will do 5 or be a little overachiever, but if they're working to 5, they'll probably get at least 2 or 3. So what that does is, how nice would it be when you set the party up and get that party rolling, you have thank you posts to go ahead and put in the party. Guys, people want to do what other people are doing, and when they see other people ordering early in the party, they want to order early in the party. Does that make sense? So that gets you thank yous that you can post right away. Also, how do you think that host feels about their party? If they start that party with 5 orders, it's probably going to be around $200 or more in sales. Most of the time, they're going to hit around 200 or more in sales. So they already have a qualifying party before you ever set their party up on Facebook. Now, that's going to be an awesome rocking party, okay? Think of the confidence that that host goes into that party with, like, and how excited she is to earn way more stuff for free because she's already earned a half-price item and some free stuff right off the bat. So that really sets the tone of the party, okay? So we're going to share with you a letter that you can put. You want to start corresponding with your host because building relationships is key to this business. And even though our business has taken a big shift from the cooking show to the virtual world, that has not changed that this is a relationship business. If you don't build a relationship with your host and your guests and your parties, you are not going to have successful parties. So you want to, I love Jennifer Henderson, always said that she made her host her BFF for the week. So we want you to make your host your new BFF for the week, okay? But the way you do that is by correspondence and by communicating with them. So if you start communicating with them early on before the party ever starts, by the time you do that party, you already have that relationship with them. You're already building that relationship. So you guys can work together to have a great party. So there's a letter that we're going to send you that you can adapt to your own, but you can print it out. We print it on kind of fun-looking paper. You know how you can buy that fun paper from Walmart? It's got little background around it. It's just printer paper, but it looks fun, balloons, something like that. And so a little letter, and it will say, text me when you get your packet so I know that you got everything okay. So there, that starts the correspondence. So then when they get the packet, you can talk to them about doing the 5-order challenge before the party. Okay, so this is going to kind of set the tone for the party. So that's the early on. You want to have that contact with them to get those books out, and even just sending them the message, hey, I'm mailing out catalogs today, would you like me to mail you some catalogs? That even if they say that they don't want catalogs, you're still building a relationship with them by doing this. Okay, so then we also have some messages that we are going to share in this group that we recommend that you send one message when you first confirm the party. Then closer to the party, you're sending out the books. Then we have a message that we want you to get into a system. You pick your days, but I send mine on Monday prior to my parties for next week. So all my parties for next week would have gotten a message from me on Monday. If you would rather do yours on the weekend, send it on Sunday for the following Monday's parties. And that kind of tells them, that message says, hey, I'm so excited about our upcoming party next week. Here's what you're going to get from your party, and it kind of outlines the party rewards for them and what you're going to be asking them to do. Okay, so it just kind of sets their expectations and kind of what's going to be happening, that you're going to be in touch later in the week. You'll have their party set up later in the week. So it gives them kind of what to expect. So because they had no idea what's fixing to happen. And then there's a second message you can send that kind of outlays the layout of the party, telling them the party is going to be opened on Friday. They can invite their friends. That over the weekend will kind of be a pre-party. The party will run Monday through Friday. Then you want to take that message and you want to change that up based on how you do your parties. So we recommend running that pre-party, that Friday, Saturday, Sunday, run the party Monday through Friday. Then you decide based on your life and your schedule, do you close your party on Saturday? Do you close your parties on Sunday? Or do you close your parties on Monday? Okay, I close mine on Monday because I don't want to work in the office on the weekend. Some of you have a full-time job and you would rather close your parties on Sunday afternoon. You decide what works for you, but you want to set that expectation when you send that message out to them, telling them how the party's going to flow. Okay, so I'm going to post both of those in this group after we get off the call tonight. Okay, so we want you this week to come up with a before the party plan for your host. Okay, when you're going to contact them about catalogs, when you're going to send out the host pack, and then how you're going to send these messages prior to the party. And what I try to get in the habit of doing is every Monday messaging my upcoming hosts that are within the next 3 weeks. Just sending, sometimes it's that catalog message. Sometimes it's just, hey, excited about our party. Lil Pampered Chef just announced, here's the June special. It could just be something as sweet and short as that. But just sending them a little something every Monday, those 3 weeks leading up to their party, so their party's on their mind, and then they hear from me that Monday and Wednesday before the party. They heard from me about the host packet. So then I've had some good contact with my host prior to the party. Does that make sense? If you want to make phone calls to your host, then make one phone call and you can spend about 5 minutes on the phone with them, just kind of what to expect for the party. You can build that into your system, but we want you to come up. That's one of your challenges this week, is to come up with a plan for how you're going to communicate with your host prior to the party. Okay, so the other thing that I wanted to talk about before we get into attendance is I want you to think for a minute what you want your business to help you do this summer, okay? You guys have heard, seen, and some of you have already experienced this. New consultants are earning, on average, with a virtual party, new consultants are earning, on average, $800 to over $2,000 a month doing this 4-party-a-week virtual system that we've laid out for you guys, okay? And some of you guys have already experienced earning $400, $500, or $700 in a week by doing this system. So what is it that you want this business to provide for you this summer? If you knew that you could have $1,000 in your bank account on the 7th of every month from your Pampered Chef business, what would you do with that? If you could have $2,000 in your bank account on the 7th of every month from this business, what would you do with that? Okay? And if you're taking notes, I want you to write down on your paper what that thing is that this business and that income could provide for you this summer. Maybe you need a new washing machine and dryer, and that's the first thing you would work towards. Maybe you want to set up a college fund for your kids, and that's the first thing you would work towards. Maybe you would like to be able to make your car payment so that you don't have to worry about that. You make your car payment so it frees up some other funds. Maybe you need a new car. Maybe you would like some new bedroom furniture or new den furniture. Maybe there's a special vacation your family would like to take this summer and you would like to earn the funds for a weekend away. Maybe there's summer camp that you want to send your kids to. Like whatever it is, what would those first couple checks go to? What would you really like them to be able to provide? And I want you to write that down, okay? And could we have 2 people that would be willing to share what they wrote down? Anybody? Anybody want to share?
This is Terry. I'll share.
Okay, great, Terry. And then I saw Michelle's hand. Go ahead, Terry.
We want to renovate both of our bathrooms, so I'm going to save toward that.
You said you want to renovate both your bathrooms. Is that what I heard you say?
Yes.
Fabulous. All right, Terry. So it sounds like y'all might already have some plans. But if you don't, I want you to go ahead and be picking out, like, is it going to be tile? What's it going to look like? How much is that tile going to cost? Go ahead and start getting those plans in the works so that you really have a plan here to move on this. And that is exciting. New bathroom. That's always exciting. Awesome. All right, Michelle?
I just want to be able to have the money for my car payment, so then that extra money we can spend on our cruise that we're going on next year for vacation.
A cruise? What are you doing on your cruise, Michelle?
We're not going to go until March of next year, but we're going to be going back to Amber Cove, Grand Turk, San Juan, Puerto Rico, and St. Thomas or St. Kitts, I think.
Fabulous. All right. So Michelle wants to be able to take hers to make a car payment with and to be able to save for a cruise. So that's fabulous. That's exactly what we want you to do, is come up with exactly what you want that income to go towards. And then I saw Tiffany messaged out, pay off credit card bills and debt, dental surgery and car payment, buying rental property, vacation. If you write down vacation, write down where you would go on vacation. Like, be specific about what it is that you want to do. So those are all fabulous. So we want you to share with your director after this call tonight or in the morning. We want you to share with them what it is that you will put these first couple months earnings towards, okay? Because we want to help you be able to achieve your goals. And it's important to us that you are achieving 100% of what you want to achieve in this business, okay? So this business can be anything you want it to be, and it can absolutely provide those things that you just said, and we want to help you do that, okay? So now that you guys kind of know now that you guys kind of know how to run the virtual parties, let's talk about some of the things that need to be happening to make sure it's a good virtual party, okay? So what kind of numbers for attendance are you guys seeing in your parties on average? And you can type it in the chat. I can see whatever you type in the chat. On average, how many people are y'all seeing in your parties? Not your top party, not your bottom one, just kind of average. What would you say your average is? 27. Oh, you guys are fast. We should do this chat more often. 29, 25, 45, 29, 15, 10 to 15, 30, 30. Okay, so, and I think you guys can see the chat too, I think. So take a look at those numbers that just came through here, okay? So what we want to really work on getting is 40 to 80 people in our parties, okay? Now, if you want 30 people in the party, you need to ask for more. If you ask for 30, you're going to get 20, okay? So a party, some of you have typed in here that you're getting 30 some people in your parties. That's good. Okay. I'm happy with 30 some people in my parties, but if I only ask for 30, I'm probably not going to get 30. Does that make sense? So in all of my host coaching to my host, I ask for 40 to 80 people in the party. Okay. And I have hosts that get on the higher end. I have a lot of hosts that get close to that 40, and that's good. But if I'd asked for 30 and they were getting close to the 30, that's not as good. Okay. So those are the numbers that I put out there. So those of you that are, I see a lot of 10 to 25, 15, 15, 15. Okay. So those are the parties. I'm not saying that you can't have a 15-person party. Well, first of all, if you have 15 in your party, think about that. One is you, one is the host, and if you book from a past host, one is the past host. So now you have 12 people that came to your party. Does that make sense? 12 people is not going to make a successful party. And I have parties with 12 people in them, okay? So I'm not, don't take that as me being on anybody that said 15, because we want to help you rock out virtual parties. And so we're working on how to do that. So in my 12 people parties, I'm not saying you can't have that exception to the rule and one host invites her close little friends and they all support her and all 12 of them go order. You'll have a great party if they do that, okay? But typically, all 12 of them are not going to go order. Typically 5 to 20% of the people in the party are going to order, okay? So if you only have 5% of your 12 people ordering, you don't have a party. Got it? So that's why we want to get to that 40 to 80. Now, there's no rhyme or reason to Facebook sometimes, okay? And sometimes you can do everything right and you can still not have a stellar party, okay? But this is more times than not, if you're working to get 40 to 80 people in the party and you're getting close to that, that's going to get you a good party. Now, I have a party running this week that has, when I did my little wheel post today for the orders, I have one party that has 1 party that has 8 orders in it, and we have $182 in sales. There's some small orders, okay? But hey, her friends are supporting her and they're ordering, okay? But then I have a party with 12 orders and we're at $1,000 in sales. I have another party with 11 orders and we're at $600 in sales. So it takes, does that make sense? So if you only have 12 people in the party and only 5% of them are ordering, you don't really have a party, okay? So it's all about the numbers. The more people you get in the party, then the more people you have to book with, to buy with, to get leads from, and all that stuff. So how can we get people to the party? Let me pull up one of my parties. Let's move this over here so I can screen share with you guys. Hold on, I'm trying to find y'all. Now I lost y'all. Oh, it's because I was in full screen. Okay, let's try this. All right, so there's some things that we do in the party to increase attendance, okay? Hold on, let's see. Now I'm seeing questions here. Hey, Jennifer Dunn, can you see the questions in the chat?
I'll have to see if I can get back on my computer. I'm on my phone. My internet was being crazy, but I'll hop back on and answer.
If there's somebody else that can see the questions, Rhonda, are you on a computer and can see the questions? If somebody can read the questions in the chat, just so I don't have to stop doing what I'm doing and read those. If you see some that need to be, I just noticed there was a bunch of questions there. So if we need to answer some of them, if y'all will catch that.
I can see them. I have it pulled up on my screen.
Okay, Sandra, if you'll just let me know if there's a question pertaining to what we're talking about, or at the end, just make sure I get the questions so I don't have to stop and read through those while I'm trying to.
One of them was, what do you do when you've asked the host to keep adding people and they just don't seem to try to get more? I think that's what you're about to go over.
All right, so remind me about that in just 1 second. All right, so here's my parties for the week, okay? So let's pull up Jenny's party. And let's go to her. Okay, so this is 51 people in the party, and right now we've got over $1,000 in sales. So she's rocking out her party, okay? So let's go to Early Bird. Okay, so this is one of the posts that is going to help you increase attendance in the party, okay? So first of all, you want to be telling your host to invite 150 to over 250 people to the party, okay? Because they need to have enough people to be able to get enough of them to join the party, okay? do you see this post right here? Do you see how many comments there are? Can y'all see that? 62 comments. Now that's not 62 people. Don't panic, okay? When you look at it, the phone, it tells you how many individual people. When you look at it on the computer, it usually tells you how many comments in all, okay? But you can still see all these people that commented. All right, so let's pull the comments up. And okay, so mine says when we have 17 people. And I used to do 20 and I was having a hard time getting the attendance. Then I went to 15 and they just weren't big enough parties. So 17 is the number I've fallen at that I like. And when I can get 17 people to comment on this, we have enough people going to the party to have a great party. So this is what I do. And I might not have worked this one as well as I have some, but you'll still get the idea of what I do. All right, so when someone makes a comment, I go in and make 2 comments, okay? And this is what I spend my time doing over the weekend, okay? So when I'm working my parties, because there's not much to work in the parties over the weekend. So first of all, let me say this. Before we look at this, I want to explain something to you. 80% on Facebook, 80% of what people consume on Facebook is consumed from their newsfeed. I want you to think about what I just said. 80% of what people consume on Facebook is consumed from their newsfeed, okay? So what that means is they're just scrolling, okay? They're not going into anything to look at anything, they're just scrolling. So what that means is that, say the host invited 250 people to your party, 32 joined, well, 80% of those 32 people are only consuming that party in their newsfeed. That means they're never clicking into the party. 20% or less are even clicking into the party, and in that 20% would be you and your host and maybe your past host, okay? So now it goes down even smaller. So what we've got to do is get Facebook to push that party out into people's news feeds, okay? Because if it's not going out to their news feed, and only the 20% of the people that joined the party are even clicking into the party to see it, that means no one's seeing anything. Does that make sense? That's how sometimes you can have a party that gets 28 people in the party and you see all these posts that say seen by 3, seen by 4, seen by 2, seen by no one, because that wasn't getting pushed out to their newsfeed, okay? That's why there's all these interactive posts in the first 2 days of the party when the party starts, because we've got to get people engaging in that. The way the algorithms work on Facebook is the more engagement on the post, Facebook says, oh, this is a valuable post. Let's push this out to people, and it goes into their news feeds. But if you have a post that doesn't get any comments, that's not going anywhere, okay? So let's look at how you make that happen, okay? So when that party starts, it's important to get that early bird post in there right away so you can start activity on the party so it will start showing it to more people. So when the host invited, you know when they go and invite and you have like 4 people join the party or 9 people join the party, those were people that were on Facebook and saw that invite right away and they joined. But here's the problem. All the other people that weren't on Facebook and didn't see that invite right away, unless they happen to go back and check notifications, they have no idea there's a party. So the only way to get them to find out there's a party is if the host personally invites them by sending them the link, which we want her to do that to some people, or if they happen to catch something in their newsfeed. So this post got pushed out to lots of people's newsfeed, which helped us get more people to join. Now, these were the people that were invited. It's not pushing it to people's newsfeed that weren't invited to the party, okay? So every time someone comments, I go in, and now she was the host, so I said, thanks for bringing everybody together this week. We're going to have a great week, and did a little emoji. But for all the other, or little gift, for all the other ones, I welcome them to the party. So I tag them and welcome them to the party, and then I do a little hello gift. So you can kind of see how this is going through here. Tag them, welcome them to the party. He was really cute, so I said a little something about how cute he was. And so trying to build a relationship, start talking to people, but individually welcoming everyone to the party. So what happens is the more, you know, for one person, they're getting 3, and then sometimes if my host will chime in and welcome them as well, sometimes we're getting 4 comments per person on here. And that's how we're getting so many people into this. So then this is what I didn't do as well in this, but I usually do a better job of this. So on Monday morning, I try to go in and put how many people we're at. So I put we're at 15, and I said, Jenny, we've had 15 friends join here. We only need 2 more, to do the drawing. Tag some friends here. I know we're going to be able to do this. So look, Jenny went in and started tagging her friends. See how this works? It works. And then like sometimes I'll have a host that nobody's commenting on the early bird thing. So I'll go in and I'll tag Jenny and I'll say, Jenny, tag 10 of your friends here. So they have a chance to be in our first party. So they have a chance to be in our first drawing. Everyone loves free. So when you say it like that, she'll go in and tag 10 friends, and then people start commenting on it. And then once he gets started, it just keeps going. So then I did the little early bird thing because we ended up with the 17. So all of my parties this week qualified, and all of them had 17 people. That doesn't usually happen. That was kind of unusual. But this is one of those posts that really helped get the party going. The little dessert post about your cheesecake or the marshmallow or having a game in the party over the weekend, that by having them interact on that, that also helps get the party going. There's also a little rule, and don't get carried away with this and like kill yourself over this, okay? But there's a little thing that said it said that if you comment back with 5 words in the comment, Facebook puts a bigger priority on that and shows that to more people. So there's a lot of things that I'll just go in and I'll say, you know, cute, or like I'll have a 1-word response. I'm not going to change that. But if you're going to type 3 words, I want you to type 5. Does that make sense? Like if you're going to take the time to respond to someone and type in 3 words and a reply on someone's comment, I want you to go ahead and type 5. So like I used to type in my guess the paycheck game. I used to comment, take your best guess, take your best guess. Yep, I used to comment, take your best guess. You know, like if people weren't guessing, or if we had 2, I would go in and say, take your best guess, so that it would kind of bump it up. Now I say, take your best guess here. Okay, do you see what we're doing? If you're going to type 3 words, I want you to type 5. Okay, so just figure out something to say. Sometimes I'll go in, and if somebody starts the paycheck guessing game, I'll say, thanks, Susanna, so much for getting us started here. You know, instead of just saying, thanks, Susanna. Okay, so anytime you're going to take the time to type, go ahead and type 5 words, okay? But don't kill yourself over this. If you're just going to go in and do a GIF or something, don't reroute what you're doing, okay? But the ones that you are taking the time to type. Something else that you want to know in Facebook, and with our interactive party, is this starting to make sense on why we have so many posts the first 2 days that have nothing to do with Pampered Chef? Okay, because if all we had, say the first day of your party, you put this beautiful food chopper picture up there, and then you put this beautiful cake picture up there and this beautiful grater picture, and no one comments, well, you're going to have crickets in your party, and no one's ever even going to see the post because it's not getting pushed out to their newsfeed. But when we do all this silly stuff about how many strawberries and what kind of sandwich do you like, grilled cheese, all this stuff, people interact, and it pushes the party out to their newsfeed. So then they're going to see more and more of the party. So there's a reason that the party is set up the way it is. Now, the more comments something can get, the more Facebook is going to show it. Now, when you comment, like if we were all sitting around the dinner table, and Susanna said to me that this chocolate cake was really good, and I just sat there and looked at her and didn't say anything, and we're at the kitchen table. Would that make you feel a little uncomfortable, Susanna? Like a little odd? Well, she might think I'm a little odd anyway, but you would definitely think I was a little odd, right? So on Facebook, it is a social setting. You want to create a social environment in your parties. So if someone makes a comment, so if you have a post up and someone makes a comment, man, that chocolate cake looks amazing, and you don't say anything, it is the same thing. Okay? When someone makes a comment, you need to respond. However, let's keep this in perspective here, okay? When someone is guessing 2, 4, 3, you don't have to go crazy on that. You can just like that stuff, okay? But if you have a really crazy day and you go in and there's like a zillion notifications and you feel like you can't handle it, what I want you to do is pick the top 2 posts of the day that had the most interaction. And I want you to go in and take your time and say, so say it was a picture that said, what is one thing you have in your refrigerator that no one else would have? Okay? And say Mary said jalapeno pickles. then I might go in and say, oh, wow, I've never had those before. How do you serve those, or what do you eat them on? And then Mary, and I tag Mary so she sees it. And then Mary comes back and says, oh, well, we eat them all the time on nachos, or, you know, my grandson loves them and he loves them on tacos, or, and then, you know, like, do you see how I'm starting a conversation and learning something about Mary? Okay. So like one lady in one of my parties today, somebody said, Mary should get extra tickets on this one because it's her birthday. So I went in and said, oh, Mary, is it your birthday today? And she said, yes. So I went and put a happy birthday gift in the party and said, hey, everybody wish Mary a happy birthday today. And then people started commenting on it. Do you see how it's a very social setting and how you're bringing people in and making them feel welcomed? So if somebody says on one of my things that, okay, like the other day, somebody said on that little picture where you pick the item, you know, like the red microwave grips or whatever item they would pick first, somebody said the pie server. So I said, well, what's your favorite kind of pie? And she came back and she said, my grandma's pie. And I said, ooh, what'd your grandma make? And so we started a whole little conversation. So I happen to know that her grandma made an incredible chocolate pie. See, I know something about her now. So you want to set a goal to find out about things about 5 people in your parties, okay? If you can't tell me anything about people in your parties, you're not building relationships in your parties. And if you're not building relationships, you're not going to book these people. And you're not going to bring these people on your team. Does that make sense? It's like you going to a cooking show and walking out on the back porch and staying there for the whole party if you don't interact with these people in the party. But I know that some days we have a lot going on in our parties. So if you were to pick the 2 most interactive posts, say one had 7 comments on it, and say it was a small show, one had 7 and one had 4, or it was a big show and one had 13 and one had 11. Pick those 2 and go comment on everything. And then the other stuff you can scroll through and like, because the same people that commented on the other stuff, I guarantee you commented on the 2 most interactive ones. So that way you are engaging with every single person that participated that day. Is that making sense to you guys? Like, don't kill yourself over this, because you got to have a balance of making this work and still leading your life. So you can't just become obsessed with all these notifications and everything, okay? But you do need to interact with people. Don't go all day long, go to bed, wake up the next day, 2 days have gone by and you haven't interacted in your parties. Your parties are not going to be successful like that. But you don't have to be on top of every little notification that goes off either, okay? So questions about that? Who's learned something so far tonight? Y'all learning something? All right, you learning something you can put in practice in your parties this week? All right, so I know you guys have our host coaching. There is something that I send to my host the day that, let me just screen share and I'll pull up a message here. Here, let me get, my computer runs really slow when we're on Zoom, so let me get it pulled up and then I'll screen share. So while I'm looking for this, Sandra, what was that question that you asked me about? It was something about attendance that you saw in the comments there.
Well, we have 2 questions. The one I was telling you about says, what do you do when you've asked the host to keep adding people and they just don't seem to try to get more?
Well, I have a message that I'll share that I actually send to them. Let me see if I can actually find her on here. And sometimes this helps and sometimes it does not. But I explained to them that if we don't get enough people in the party, we're not going to be able to have a successful party to help her, you know, to help her get the things that she wants.
Love, and I'll add something to that. So what she just said, if you don't get enough people into the party, you're going to have to tell your host, like, look, if you only have 10 to 15 people, people aren't, you know, joining, the party's not being very active, then therefore Facebook's not going to let the post go through with the algorithms and everything. But if she's willing to try, and willing to try goes a long ways whenever you ask somebody to do something. So, like, I'll say to my host, like, look, you know, if you're willing to try to get your party to qualify, then if you'll do these little small steps that I ask of you, you're going to see some results. Because if not, she's going to have to text, email, you know, call people, reach out to people to try to get those orders to supplement to get to that $200. But Luff's got a really great message that she sends to her hosts. It's not pushy, it's not rude, but it's just pretty much down to the point. And I've had to send this to some of my hosts within the last couple of weeks, and it works.
So here's the message I think she's talking about. So just don't look at anybody's names here, okay? I don't know how else to show you this. I wanted to follow up and see if you had trouble inviting friends to the party. We only have 6 friends besides you and I in the party. So that means we have 8 people going to this party. I can't do a party with 8 people. This party, surprise, surprise, this party did not qualify. Okay, but I think I was being very nice. I wanted to follow up and see if you had trouble inviting friends to the party. We only have 6 friends besides you and I in the party, and that is not enough to rock out a great party this week. I want to help you get some great rewards, and we need enough people in the party to make that happen. And now I always say 40 to 80, but because we only had 6 at this point, I backed it down a little bit so it didn't seem so out of reach for her. So I said, we really need at least 30 people to join us. And my best parties have 30, 40, and 80 people in them. I know we can get you there. I've got some tricks that can really help grow your attendance fast. Let me know if you can still add people or if you're running into trouble there, because sometimes hosts try to invite and they get blocked or they get an error. So I didn't want to assume that she didn't do a good job inviting. So let's rock out your party this week. I'm here to help you every way. So I kind of, I thought I was very nice to her, and she did end up inviting more people. She said, I think my Facebook's messed up. I'll try to add more today. I couldn't do much yesterday. She did get more people into the party. Let me search one of my hosts this week and show you what I send out. And I'll post these words. So this is what I send out after they've invited. Okay, so when I first, here, let's see, I think this is a good one. Okay, so this lady did not invite many people to her party. This was Jenny. She did not invite many people, okay? So here's the first message that I send. Jenny, I'm so excited about our party next week. And this is before I create the host message, okay? Jenny, I'm so excited about our party, although our party starts on Monday, blah, blah, blah. Over invite. We found the sweet spot is inviting at least 200 to 250 people or more. Don't prejudge. They might blah, blah, blah. They have to pick to join the group. Okay, so I send that with the link. Okay, so that's how I first invite them to the party. So then, here we go. Hey, Jenny, great start to inviting to your party. We've had 11 of your friends join us so far. Great start. All right, so I reworded it just a little bit because we've had more than 6. Our goal this week is to get somewhere between 30, 40, or 80 of your friends to join us. So I sent that same message, just reworded it just a little bit. No one will be offended by the invite. They have to choose to join us because I can't remember, but she had only invited like maybe 30 some people besides the people that were in the party. Okay. So this is the $1,000 party right now. She went and invited a whole lot more people and we got to 51. Okay. But had I not sent this message and just left it like it was, we would not be rocking out a great party right now. Okay. And so then here's the next little thing, and I'll post all this for you. But so I send another thing that teaches them how to send this personal message, and I challenge them to send it to 25 people. Okay. So our goal is to get 80 of your friends to join the party. And remember, I lowered it to 30 because she didn't have many people. And this was Sunday night when I sent this, I think. But normally I say 40 to 80 of your friends join the party. It's easier than you may think. Friends will keep joining us all week as they see the party. A lot of your friends haven't seen the party. So I challenge them to send this to 25 people, and I tell them how they can forward it out. Think of it this way. If you get a notification to join a party versus getting a personal message from a friend to join their party, which are you more likely to act on? Also, so putting that in perspective, so most of my people will send this to 25 people. So here I fix up the message with their link in it. So all they have to do is forward this message on. Okay. So that's why this is not in my group host coaching. Okay. And then once they get more people in the party, I send this little thing. Hey, Jenny, great job inviting. Now we've reached 30. We went from 11 to 39 friends. Now we're at 51. So she really got on this. So I'll post some of those words for you guys in the group, because I know that's not in the host coaching. That's just something I've added to my party. Jennifer, is there anything that you do different? Henderson, are you still in here? Is there anything that you do different to help your host get that attendance going?
Sorry, I had to find me, and then I had to find my. There's so many of us on this call tonight.
Well, I didn't know you were on here, so yes, I know that.
Yeah. No, I'm here. Guys, I really think, like Love said, building that before the party starts, because I know a lot of times you book the party and then like you mail out the hostess packet and then a couple of weeks pass and then all of a sudden the day before the party starts, a lot of people are already like sending the group invite, but there's been no contact between you and that hostess between their party. And it is so important to try to build that relationship. And the reason why I have them text me whenever they get their hostess packet is so therefore, they have me in their cell phone. If they are out and about doing some shopping or they're out and about doing this or they're at work and somebody wants to order, then they feel more comfortable with texting me as opposed to Facebook message. And, just like Love said, and I'll say it again, my hostess that week, I make them my BFF, and I let them know that I'm here for them. I am their consultant for them, and my main concern is to get them a qualifying party and get them their free stuff. So I guess just really trying to get a relationship with your hostess before the party starts, so therefore they will trust in you as their consultant to have a qualifying party. But hey, we all know the saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink it. So that is totally true. I myself have unqualifying parties from time to time, and I myself have flops, and it's just part of working with the public. Okay, you don't know what you're going to get until you get them, so you have to make the best of every situation. But no, I think before I would say something like, look, I know you probably added some people, but we really want this to, just building that with them, knowing that you're telling them what to do because you want them to have the belief in you that you know what you're doing. So you want them to know, hey, if you do this, then this is going to happen in return. So, but that's all you can really do. And I know that we always have those hostess that it goes in one ear and it goes right out the other. And they're the ones that don't have the qualifying parties when it comes down to the end of things. So it happens, unfortunately. So build those relationships. Then there'll be the ones that will join your team. And then if they don't join your team, they'll be the ones that support you in your business.
So thank you, Jennifer. So this week is all about learning how to build relationships in your parties and get your attendance up, okay? So I remember early on in my business, I was at a training that now a friend of mine, Becky Ishii, but I didn't know her back then, and she did this training, and she said, what can you tell me about your past 5 hosts? Can you tell me where they work? Can you tell me if they have kids? Can you tell me, are their kids involved in sports, or what do they do? She asked all these questions, and I felt like a heel because I didn't know anything about any of my hosts. And I thought, well, I'm just a terrible consultant. And so it made me realize I was not building relationships with my hosts in the slightest. So I want to challenge you. Can you tell me something? Can you tell me 5 things about your past 5 hosts? Do you know about their kids? Do you know about their family? Do you know about their work? These are easy things to find out. So we're going to play a little challenge this week called Get to Know Your Host. And we want you to share. We're going to put a post up on this Facebook page, and we want you to share something interesting that you learn about your host this week. And we'll have fun with this, okay? Maybe they keep chickens. Maybe they just something fun, some random thing about your host, but learn about your host. Is this making sense? If you're getting to know them, you're focused on them, and you're building a relationship. I was not building any kind of relationship whatsoever with my host. So I want to challenge you to build that relationship with your host, because you and that host are going to partner together to make that a great show. So let me ask you, how many of you guys, do you guys know the sales level for May is $750 this is for free products. For the new products, we don't even know what they are for fall. It's $750, $1,500, and $3,000. Okay? So I want you to check your sales tonight and see how close you are to whatever level that you could be getting close to. Okay? Some of y'all are just being surprised that you're in free products. All right. So $750, $1,500, or $3,000. So if you are close, remember at the $3,000 level, what are you guys getting? Over $400 in products at the $1,500 level. Okay. That there you're getting the new cover product. I don't know what it is, but it's valued at over $350 or $340 or something like that. Okay. Well, let me put it to you this way. The quick cooker is $240. This thing is valued at close to $350. So what could it be? So sell $1,500 this month and you're getting that. So if you need more sales for this month, then one, does everybody here know about the mega party? It starts on Saturday. I'll put the link in this group, but if you haven't already joined the mega party, that's a great thing to add another party to your schedule, okay? Set up a Help with Cancer fundraiser. No links will be shared in the group. Everything will say, ask your consultant that invited you here for the shopping link for this party. So you'll individually send your shopping link, okay? So that'll add another party to your schedule. We're going to have some interactive posts tomorrow, but the party's going to run Saturday through Tuesday. Saturday, Sunday, Monday will be the party. Tuesday will be the countdown. It closes out Tuesday, and then Wednesday, we encourage you to close your party and submit it. There's no host to close out with because you are the host. But if you host this party and get over $200 in sales, you can purchase one item, anything you want at 60% off for being the chairperson of the fundraiser. So that can add another party to your May calendar. If there is anyone on here, and this is real important, if there is anyone on here that wants to, that wants to book parties for next week or have parties close for next week for May, reach out to your director and make sure your director or I know tomorrow, because we can get you a template that you can run that will close on Thursday so you can submit on Friday. Does that make sense? And you can still accept orders up to like 6 o'clock on Friday or something to submit. But if you need party sales for this month, let your director know and we will get you a template that you can run. It's going to kind of bump everything a day early, but that way you don't have to mess with reconfiguring the template. We'll get that to you. Because a lot of you are running parties Monday through Friday, and maybe your countdown is on Friday and you're not submitting until Saturday or Sunday or Monday. So if you need those party sales for June, that is fine. But if you need them for May, contact us and we can get you set up so your parties can run like that. Is there anybody else who wants more parties for next week? Anybody else need more parties for next week? Okay, so I'm going to put a pilot message. Madison, I got you. Madison wants them too. She raised her hand too. So I'm going to put a pilot program message tonight in this group. This is the message when I got serious about ramping up my virtual business. This message is what got me 10 parties a week, okay? I'm not telling you to go book 10 parties, okay? But this message is what got me to the 10 party a week schedule, okay? So it's a pilot message, and it just says, hey, I've been asked, how many of y'all would like to be in a pilot program? Anybody? All right, okay. All right, so now you are in my pilot program, okay? So it says, hey, I've been asked to be in a pilot program with Pampered Chef to test a new style party next week that only lasts 3 to 5 days. It's all online here on Facebook. It's fast and fun. I set it all up for you. All you have to do is invite your people and make comments. If you would like to be one of my 4 testers I need, you will get an extra free gift from me for taking one of my spots. That's on top of all the regular host rewards that you'll receive. What do you think? Can I put you down for one of the spots? Okay. It's very direct. It tells them exactly what you're asking. It asks for the booking for next week. You're only given the free gift if they book next week. It's your choice what you give. You can give a corn butter. You can give a mini serving spatula. You can, whatever. It doesn't need to be anything expensive. Just an extra free gift because they took your spot, okay? But people will do this. If you ask for the booking, they will do it. You've just got to message enough people. So I'll post this tonight, and if you go on Facebook, go to your friends. I don't care if you start with the A's or the Z's, but just start somewhere. And you guys know if you pull up your friends, you can hover over the message without ever leaving the friend list and send the message. Do you guys know that? You can also go, if you've been in Pampered Chef for a little while, go back to your past parties. You can pull up the member list there that joined. You can message them by hovering over their name. A little box will pop up that says message. You can send the message right there without ever leaving that list so that you can go through and message multiple people. But remember, too much of the same activity, and we will be back here next week doing a session of Facebook jail, okay? So don't go send 80 messages at one time, okay? You can easily send about 12 messages. Then, and you want to put their name in it, personalize it. If there's, you know, hey, I hadn't seen you since last summer, or hope to see you and the kids at the pool, or, you know, do a little personalization there, and it helps make it different. But you can send that to about 12 people and then back off and don't do anything till the next morning or later that afternoon. Just kind of spread it out. You should be able to message about 30 people a day if you spread it out, okay? So if you message tonight or tomorrow morning, you can easily give yourself the bookings that you want. You want to focus on at least four shows every week. Some people choose to run 6, but you want to be running at least 4 every week, because remember our little saying, 1 will drop, 1 will flop, and 2 will pop. Sometimes you'll have 4 to get paid with, but that will ensure you're having 2 to get paid with at least, because we do not want you to spend your time on Facebook running 2 parties and not getting paid for your time that week. So a couple things that we're going to be doing this week. Any questions on the pilot message? Okay, so the pilot message I'll get posted in just a second. Okay, so we're going to do a little booking blitz this week. Okay, so every time you get a new booking, we want you to post in this page so we can cheer you on and congratulate you for getting your 4 bookings. So if you don't have 4 bookings for next week, that's your first focus. If you do, you want to focus on 4 for the next week. Okay, and so our little booking blitz is going to be hashtag have it all. Who would like to have it all this summer? Earn the income you want to have it all this summer. Have the best summer ever, okay? Hashtag have it all. So when you get a booking, we want you to get a picture or do a little GIF of whatever you want your income this summer. So if it's going towards a car, just do a little GIF of a car or do a picture of a car. If it's going towards a cruise, do a GIF of the cruise, or just have fun with this, okay? Don't put a lot of thought into it. Just have fun with it, okay? But we want you to hashtag have it all and tell us, you know, if you got 2 virtual bookings or whatever, you know, 2 virtual parties booked for next week or whatever you got. So we're going to run the booking blitz on the page. We're going to put the post up about getting to know your host. We want you to share some fun things that you're learning about your host, okay? And then I want you guys to have a super positive attitude this week and go out this week and repeat to yourself. Your family might think you're crazy, but they probably already think you're crazy anyway, if it's like at my house, okay? So I want you to walk around your house thinking to yourself, I am a bookings magnet. Bookings are everywhere. Bookings are so easy to get. I have 4 or more bookings every single week. I am a bookings magnet. Because if you walk around the house and you say, I've messaged everybody, nobody wants to have a party, I can't find anybody who wants to have a party, guess what? You aren't going to have any parties on your calendar, okay? But if you walk around the house telling yourself all the time, I am a bookings magnet, bookings are everywhere, my calendar is full, I hold 4 parties every week, guess what's going to start happening? Your mind goes to work on that. This is a really powerful thing. It's not crazy, okay? I promise you. Just try it. Just trust me. Just try it. Prove me wrong. So say these positive thoughts to yourself all week about how you are a bookings magnet, and watch your brain go to work. And it's not that these booking opportunities weren't there, but you're going to start to see them because you're open to more ideas. Does that make sense? Okay, well, don't worry if it doesn't make sense. Just go do it. It works. I'm telling you guys, it works. Okay? So any questions on tonight's call? Have you guys learned something that you can go put into practice this week? Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to hit every aspect of this, okay? And every week you are going to leave with something solid you can go do about bookings. So this week is the pilot message. You can go back to your old parties. You can just message people on Facebook. It doesn't matter. The top seller in our company, do you know what the top seller in our company, the difference between them and me or them and you is? They just asked more people to host a party. How many times do you think our top seller in our company has heard no? I promise you there is no special mojo they have that just everyone says yes to them. That is not the case, okay? I can assure you they have heard way more no's than all of us put together, okay? So it is fine to hear no's. We're just casting that big net and we're looking for the people that do want to have parties and we're not focused on the people that don't. I want to leave you with this analogy, okay? I want you to imagine that you're in a conference room, okay? And there's about 100 people in that conference room, okay? And I go around and I ask who would like to try some, so maybe escargot, is that how you say it? Say that right, escargot? It's one of my favorite foods. I do like it though. But say I walked around, I was looking to find somebody to go out and try this with me this afternoon. And over 80 people in that room told me no, okay? But say I found 12 people that said they would go try it with me, okay? So now we got me and those 12 people over here on this side of the room because we're getting ready to go try some escargot together, okay? So I'm all excited because I'm going to go try one of my favorite foods that I don't get to eat very often, okay? Do you think that I'm focusing on these 89 people or 87 people that told me no? I'm excited about these 12 people that are going to go with me, right? Okay? So why in the world would I spend my time focusing on the people that didn't? They just didn't care to. It's not that they didn't like me. They just didn't want to go eat snails with me, okay? So I want you to remember that story when you're asking people. Because if you ask 100 people, you're going to have 80-some people tell you no. And if you spend your time focusing on the 80-some people that told you no, and you're not excited about these 9 or 11 or 12 people that said yes, you're going to do your business, okay? I want you to focus on the people that said yes. Don't worry about the other people. They just didn't like snails. It's no big deal. They just didn't like snails, okay? They just weren't in the mood for snails this week, okay? And if you look at it like that, you're not going to have any problems. If you start focusing on those people, you're going to get in this doom and gloom. Nobody wants to have a party. Well, you know. So you're a bookings magnet and you want to go find the people who want to go try snails with you this week. All right. So are y'all ready to do this? All right. We're going to have a great week together. So follow that group. Myself and our leaders are going to be providing you information in that group to help you move your business every single week. Okay. So things we shared on the call tonight will go into that group. So that's where you want to pay attention. And I'll put the Hope Lodge fundraiser link in there. Be sure to join that because it gives you another party this month. All right. Any questions? All right. Well, I'm so glad.